Yo, 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 what is up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Grown and Nerdy Podcast with your boy, Jordan Conley. Hee, 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 hee. Oh man, that was cool. It's been a second, but yo, I got some dope updates, man. I hope, Matt, first of all, I hope you're having a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, whenever you are listening to this. And if you are not, I hope you listening to this episode will bring a smile to your face and joy to your heart. Okay, so let's just jump in. Okay, I went to Comic Con, San Diego specifically, San Diego Comic Con for the first time, and oh boy, what a magical like just a magical time, magical place to be. I don't know if you've ever been to Comic Con, let alone San Diego Comic Con, but it's just a dope place for nerds to gather. Okay, it's so great. You look around and your heart is full of joy. You're like, you're a nerd, but I'm a nerd. We're all nerds. Like and ain't no real egos. Actually, maybe there is. I don't know. I didn't really talk to too many people like that. But I'm just saying, everyone I saw was just happy. They were in their own world. Cosplays were dope. Okay, dope is cosplay. Um, shoot, this goes two ways actually. Easily the dopest cosplay. I'm gonna do different versions of what I saw. So number one, easily the dopest would be some dude dressed up as Galactus, but it was like this dude dressed up in a suit that was easily what 15 feet, maybe, maybe, maybe like huge, okay, and was like he took up space when he was walking the floor. He commanded the room. That was dope, right? There was another dope cosplay. This couple, they dressed in a whole Fantastic Four onesie. They had a cape, long blonde hair, and Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. They were called the Fantastic Thor, and I thought that was just impressive. Okay, and then my favorite cosplay on the comical side. Okay, there's this couple dressed up. Uh, it was Wicked, Elphaba, and Glinda, right? But Glinda had on a Green Goblin mask, and Elphaba had on a spider costume. So it was Elphaba Goblin and Spider Glinda. It was so cheesy, but it was hilarious. I loved it. Like I would love to get into cosplay, but my budget is like hell no, fam. Don't you even think about it. Like when I think about doing cosplay, my wallet hurts. You know what I mean? Like when you get spidey senses, I get wallet senses. My wallet just doesn't. I don't have the time, the energy, or the effort to really put into cosplay like that. Because I feel like if you're gonna go into cosplay, you got to go in, right? If I'm gonna be a superhero today, I'm grabbing a towel, a bath towel. I'm putting it around my neck, and we flying off. That's what we're doing. I'm not about to take the time to sew. Are you kidding me? You remember those movies when you would see people sew and they would get their fingers caught? It was like ow, or like the Grinch, right? In the Grinch, he sews his fur hands, his fur nails, his fails, because fur nails got caught in the thing. My hands would just cut off on a sewing machine. Then you got to get a 3D printer to be able to do stuff. I don't know if I would have the time to do it. Or I don't know if I'd be able to dedicate the time to cosplay the way I would want to cosplay. So I just like watching what others do with it because these people are really talented. Like they got skills. They're artists out here, right? But me, what do? I just show up dressed how I want to dress. Everything matches, right? Like the first day I showed up, it was Black Panther. Okay, second day I showed up, all Star Wars. Third day, all Deadpool. Actually, it was a Deadpool Wolverine mashup. Fourth day, it was what was the fourth day? Oh, I just did a Disney setup because I wasn't prepared for the fourth day. I had a Miles Morales like a Spider-Man setup, but I was going home on the 4th because I went on preview night. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Comic Con. No, no, no. Yeah, it's 4 days. Oh snap! I did 5 days. Okay, that's where I got it wrong. So it was Black Panther, then it's Black Panther, then it was Star Wars, then it was Deadpool Wolverine, then it was that when Disney came out? Some I wore clothes is what I did. And it was all coordinated. I did what did I do? I said it with confidence too. Yeah, I don't remember what I did, but I did it. I tell you that much. Whatever I did it, and it got done. Okay, so yeah, Comic Con was dope. How much money did I spend in Comic Con? Too much. I tell you that much right now. I spent way too much money at Comic Con. I spent so much money at Comic Con. I don't think I can't really buy nothing no more. Okay, I mean nothing, nothing. I don't care if there's something I need. If I need deodorant, I better make it work. Okay, I done spent. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah, it was too much, right? Like if I think if you're a veteran for Comic Con, I feel like you know what you're doing, right? Like you like, oh, I'm going in, I'm getting this, and this, and that's it, right? Like when it's your first time, especially San Diego Comic Con. San Diego Comic Con is a Comic Con on on extra nominalness levels, right? That's a word. Don't look it up though. Like I went to Atlanta Comic Con. Best way to explain how big San Diego is, I went to Atlanta Comic Con, and Atlanta Comic Con was the truest form of what a Comic Con is. You go into this room, and there's comic books everywhere, and then you leave the room, and then you go home. I'm lying. They did have they had like a little hallway that had like artists and whatnot, but it was like a tiny hallway. Like you walk down and like from the beginning of the hallway, you could see the end of the hallway and that's it. In San Diego Comic-Con, when you walk in that building, if you look down one side of the convention center, if you attempt to look on the other side, all you're going to see is it's oh, here's a better way to put it. If you walk into Comic Con, it's equivalent to walking into the wardrobe in Chronicles of Narnia. It's just a whole world in there. And you don't see the beginning, you don't see the end. It's just you just got to remember where the closet is so you can come back out. That's what San Diego Comic Con is. Atlanta Comic Con again. You walk in and you go, oh, that's what's up. I see there, and then you turn around and you walk out. But they did have this tiny little hallway for artists and whatnot, and I never forgot. I bought my first pop there. It was a Joker Batman pop, my favorite pop to this day. Matter of fact, do I have it behind me? I might, I might have it behind me. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. It's somewhere. I'm gonna find it, but I just had a Joker behind me. I bought my first pop. It was a Joker Batman, and then it was like a Batman, but it was dressed and decked out like the Joker, right? And then my favorite thing about Atlanta Comic Con, because when you go to San Diego Comic Con, bro, celebrities out the wazoo. When was the last time you heard somebody say wazoo? Today, and not since what 20 years ago, maybe, I don't know. But there were celebrities out of the wazoo. I mean, everybody's everywhere. John Cena, James Gunn, George Lucas was there this year. Like, I mean, everybody was there. Okay, Atlanta Comic Con. The one celebrity that showed up was a reoccurring zombie from The Walking Dead, because this was years ago. Okay, so it was a reoccurring zombie from The Walking Dead, and this dude was legit. It wasn't like an actor. Like, oh snap, is Glenn or is Michonne or is Rick? No, this was a zombie, a dude who was casted to play a zombie, and he was, I guess, so good at being a zombie they kept bringing him back to be a zombie. And and he was standing in front of one of the scenes where he was being a zombie, and he would pose and he'd be like, "Rrr." So I mean, it was dope, but it's like that's the difference between Atlanta Comic Con and then San Diego Comic Con, right? Complete huge difference. So, I forgot what I was. Oh yeah, all that to say, bro, I wasn't prepared. My heart, mind, body, soul, and wallet wasn't prepared for what I was about to see because I shared a game plan. I will next year. Tell you that much. Next year, I'm gonna do my research, find out who's gonna be there, find out what the exclusives are, and then just go like that. Boom, boom, bam. We good. We out, bro. This year I walked in there. The first day I walked there, I literally walked from one end of the convention center all the way down to the other end of the convention center. Don't quote me on this. I think I walked 10 miles. Okay, not really the number, but it was so far. But also, you walking into Comic Con, you say excuse me so much, bro. But you say it so much that you can tell who's new and who's not new. Cause I said excuse me a lot, and I bumped into one person, and he goes, "This your first time here?" I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "I was like, how could you tell?" He's like, "Oh no, you're just polite." I was like, "What?" And then I realized everyone I bumped into, nobody else ever said excuse me. It was just me. I bumped into someone else. Everybody else went, and then that they just kept moving, or they didn't acknowledge me at all. They just walked. Meanwhile, I'm over here. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. I should have next year. I'm gonna just shut up and bump people, look them in the eye, and then walk off. That's what I'm gonna have to do, apparently. But like, there's so many people, and guess where these people are? Everywhere. They're everything everywhere all at once. That's everything is there, and everyone's there, and they're all there, and it's just congested. You all breathe in the same air. Okay, I'm if somebody's sick, we all sick in Comic Con because it's so beautiful. I know I'm saying all this, but understand it's so beautiful, beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite Comic Con. Bro, so good, man. So genuinely, I can't wait to go next year. But again, I'm a game plan, right? So I walk into Comic Con. First day, I'm walking the entire floor, okay? And I went on preview night, right? I got a professional badge. I go on preview night. I didn't realize what preview night was. I just thought preview night was like, oh, just come in, check stuff out, have a good time, hang for a little bit. I get there and I just walk the whole floor. Preview night's only 3 hours, by the way. I walk the entire floor and I'm sitting there just chilling. Maybe I buy like one or two things, maybe on preview night. I get in line for Loungefly, right? Because they had a Fantastic Four exclusive bag for Comic Con exclusive, and I get in line for it, and they're like, "Oh, we're sold out. Come back again tomorrow." And I'm like, "Bro, word up. I'll be back tomorrow. If it's this easy, I'll be back." I didn't realize that not everybody goes to preview night. Preview night is specifically for people with professional badges and higher, I guess. Because that next day, that Thursday, bro, bodies on bodies on bodies. If there was a line, it was capped out. It didn't matter. Hey, it's this thing just opened up. Where do I go? It don't matter, but you can't stay in this walkway. The amount of times the security told you to keep moving down the walkways, it was so much. At a certain point, y- I felt like security started to lack common sense. Okay, because there would be points where they'd be like, keep moving down the walkways, and every day they got more and more rude. Okay, it started off chill, like, hey, can I keep the walkway moving? By Sunday, they were damn near cussing people out. If you don't doggone it, move down the, like, I mean, putting real bass in their voice. There was literally, I got in one line once. It was the Hasbro line, right? And there was a lady, she had a service dog, and she was pushing her friend in a wheelchair. Okay. Security guy comes up and he goes, "I'm gonna need you to move all the way against the wall." for the line, right? Because they're trying to make space for the people walking. Keep in mind, the lines that they had, it would go up and then it would loop around. So it would make like a little loop-de-loop, right? And they would put tape on the floor to indicate that you need to be inside the line and this is how far the line reaches out. I don't think the tape on the ground that they marked out for people to stand in, that wasn't fit for real human beings to stand in side by side because those spots were taped off so tight that it felt like a compact parking space. You know what I mean? Like imagine you have a doggone minivan, okay? And the only spot left to park in is a compact parking space. And you try to squeeze in there, but your whole booty is across the line into the other parking space because you weren't meant to fit in this compact parking space. That's what that taped off space was. Okay? Real human beings that got meat on their body that got bones and stuff. This wasn't that. This line was taped off for a preschool class, not for full grown adults. So either way, all that to say, this lady, she's pushing someone, a friend in a wheelchair. There's a service dog. Service dog is just, there's just all this stuff, all this space in this area, to the point where whoever was standing next to her could not fit inside the taped off space. Again, the taped off space meant for tiny rats, okay, not for people. But mice, Cinderella's mice, they could have fit in that tape easily, okay? The entire cast of Toy Story could have fit in that tape easily, but grown adults, no. So security guy walks up and he's like, "Hey, ma'am, if you can, I'm gonna need you to move all the way over to the side." And she's like, "I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm I'm there's a wheelchair. I'm not about to." He says, "Well, can you pick it up and move it closer to the wall?" Keep in mind, this lady was so close to the wall that if she stuck her hand out fully, she would punch through the wall because there was no more space. And this dude asked her to lift this wheelchair and push it over. It got so bad because he was so relentless. Everybody around her, because she just stopped talking at a certain point. She just started shoulder shrugging, like, you know, you don't have anything else to say, so you just. That's what she started doing, to the point where all of us around her was like, "Hey, bro, she can't go no more. It's a wheelchair. She's not picking it up. She's good." And he would just go, "I know. I get it. I know. I get it. But if you can just move, I know. I get it." And I said something to him. I'm like, "Hey, bro, you gotta pay attention. She can't move more." He goes, "Hey, dude, if you can I just gotta do my job." And I look at him and I'm like, "You can be nicer about it. She clearly can't move." And he's like, and then he just goes, "All right, just can you move over as far as you can?" And she literally goes, "I did," with that bass, that tone. And he goes, "Okay, thank you," and walks away. 5-minute altercation. And it's just like, they were so aggressive. But I'm prepared for next year, okay? Because apparently that's how they are, from what I've been told. But I've also been told they were more aggressive. Like I've been told they were sweeter some years. So I don't know what happened this year, if they were more aggressive. But man, it was wild. So bodies everywhere, all this stuff. You get there, my second day, it was like, oh crap, I can't even get in the lounge flat line because that line was immediately capped. Like it was full within minutes. Not to mention, by the way, because I forgot to mention it, by the way, bro. The to get into Comic Con on preview night, you know what you did? You walked in the doggone doors. That's what you did. You walked up, you went, "Hey, where am I supposed to go?" They said, "Go inside, go up the stairs, get your lanyard and badge and everything. You'll be good to go. Then you can walk the floors." Do you know the Thursday after preview night, the official first day of that weekend at Comic Con, there was everybody, first of all, everybody was there. And they were all lined up outside. Like there was a big old line, and then everyone was just huddled in front of the doors to get inside, but the doors weren't open. It was so wild. It looked like a scene from a zombie movie where the survivors locked themselves inside and the zombies were just against the glass, just that's what it looked like. And I didn't know what to do, but I knew I didn't want to be with the zombie horde. So I just kind of sat back and waited for the doors to open, which I learned in retrospect really wasn't the smartest thing to do, because that's why all the lines were capped by the time I got in there, because everybody who was at the in the horde, that zombie horde, they immediately went to the lines that they wanted to. They knew where they wanted to go, and if they were new, they were with a veteran who knew what they were doing, and they went right to the lines they wanted to go to. Meanwhile, I'm all dilly dallying. Hey, can I get in this line? Oh, sorry, it's full. That's weird. Wasn't full yesterday. Bro, so wild. But again, can't mention this enough. It was so fun. I had such a good time at Comic Con. Let's go back to the main point: the money I spent. Okay, so if I had properly prepped for Comic Con, I would have been like, okay, I want to go here, 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 and all this other stuff is stuff I can know is there. But what I want is here, here, and here. I walked in, walking the entire floor on preview night. I just saw everything, and everything was dope, and I wanted it all. So I just walked in and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." You said what? That's exclusive? Okay, I guess I want it, and I took it. And then I went to another spot, and it was stuff I didn't even need. They're like, "Hey, you want this sticker? Oh, okay, you giving it for free? It's $2. What's $2? Gave him $2. By the end of the Comic Con, I done spent doggone 8 months of rent. Apparently, like it was so amazing. But now I know for next time to be extra prepared. Okay, so I'm a look into it, figure out who's gonna be there, and I'm gonna be there where the people I want to be at gonna be at, because everybody else is selling dope stuff. Okay, um, my biggest things I got at Comic Con that I was excited on that Thursday. I did get my Loungefly backpack. The line was capped, but like later on in the day, it opened up, so they did have some more backpacks. If I'm correct, the way they were selling stuff at Comic Con is they have a set number that they're selling that day. Like they don't fully sell out that day. Then the next day they bring out the next shipment or the next set of said item. For example, the Fantastic Four bag on preview night, they sold out of it. They told me to come back the next day. I came back the next day, they had another supply of it. Now, some places, when they sold out, they told you, oh, we sold out. So thankfully, the Loungefly backpack, I got that, the Fantastic Four bag, super dope. But one really dope thing, I got to go first time San Diego Comic Con. I got to go to Hall H. Now, if you don't know Hall H, that's the iconic, the biggest room in the convention center. A lot of the main event panels go in there. It's also where a lot of the biggest moments in Comic Con history have happened. For example, last year with the RDJ Doctor Doom reveal, right? That happened in Hall H. I got to go into Hall H, and keep in mind, I when you're on the outside looking in, you don't really know like how big Hall H is. You know it's big because you see the videos, and the videos people have are zoomed in on a screen. So you can see like, oh my God, like go down. Ah. But when you walk in there, you don't realize how the depth of that hall is so humongous. Let me explain it this way. Hall H is so big that when we walked in, we had to sit in the very back, right? Hall H is so big, we sat so far back, you would have thought I was in Hall Z. Okay? Like they got screens in front of their screens for the panel. Like you can't see them. Okay? They look like ants. It's like imagine going to a baseball game, and you know how the baseball game has nosebleeds? Imagine if you went to a baseball game, you saw the nosebleed seats, and then you got in a rocket ship and just shot up higher in the air to get to get to the next level of nosebleeds. That's what it was. Okay? I had no idea. So next year when I go, I want to try to go and sit closer. That's the goal. We went to see the Peacemaker panel, which that was dope, right? It was John Cena, James Gunn was there, A lot of the cast were there. It was really dope. I never saw him. Couldn't see him up close. Thankfully, these phones nowadays can zoom in so close you could see Pluto. So thankfully, when I zoomed in, I was able to see him like that. But it was like I felt like when you go to a opera house and they have those little binoculars that you put over your face like these. I don't know why I'm talking like that now, but it just feels like ooh, so fancy, ooh. That's what it felt like I needed in Hall Z to see what was really happening in Hall H. But the atmosphere in there is amazing. It's so fantastic. I learned out about the camping in there and whatnot. That's all besides the point. Point is, I got to go to Hall H. That was really cool. Comic Con as a whole was very overwhelming for me because there was so much to do, and it's not just so much to do inside for the actual like within the main floor of the convention center. It's also outside. There's everything to do inside and there's everything to do outside. Outside is actually crazier than inside because if there's an activation, which is what they call it, if you want to get in line for a thing, like a King of the Hill was there, Abbott was there, they had a Predator walkthrough, they had an Alien walkthrough. If I'm correct, right, all of those things were called activations. If you wanted to do any of those things, if I'm correct, all of those things were free to the general public. Like to get into the halls of Comic Con on that main floor, you needed a badge for that, 100%. To go watch the shows and the panels, the Hall H's and the other shows and the other panels, you needed a badge for that. But if you wanted to do anything outside, all you needed was air in your lungs, and everybody did it. Okay, every line outside, don't quote me on this, was 8 hours long. And that's not true, obviously, but the lines were so long, you would have thought I was at Disney trying to ride Rise of the Resistance. Like those lines were long. So what did I do outside? Not a doggone thing. Okay, I went to eat food. Okay, but if there was a line to ride something, I just wasn't prepared and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, let me get inside because I got the badge. So next year, once again, I'm gonna be prepared. Be prepared. Do 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 do. Yeah, Comic Con was a blast. That was a lot. So it's a lot of people. It's a lot of stuff to do. You get overwhelmed if it's your first time. It's a lot of excuse me's. But some of the dopest collectibles you'll ever see, some of the dopest people you'll ever meet, some of the doggone they got after parties there and stuff. Bros, just everything is really dope. The exclusives, like the Comic Con exclusives that they give out, are so dope. You got to get it before they're gone. But if you ever want to go, be prepared. Do your research. If there's a company you're specifically trying to look for to get, check their page, Instagram, their websites, whatever it is, to find out where they're going to be at. Because I thought I was prepared. Once again, I was not. You know how people say I wasn't in the slightest? There was a little bit of slight. I was prepared in a little bit of slight, but not all of the slight. So that's where I got swarmed. So overwhelmed. It's chaotic, but it's beautiful chaos is what Comic Con is. It's a beautiful chaos. Okay, I walked sideways through most of Comic Con because if you walk straight like this, both your shoulders are rubbing off on other people's shoulders. Okay, I will say probably the trippiest thing about Comic Con is there are people there that bring their babies. Okay, so you got strollers or wagons walking through these floors of Comic Con, and I'm like, hey, fam, that's a lot for your kids. Okay, and I'm not talking like babies like they could walk. I'm talking they just cut the umbilical cord and was like, hey, doc, are we good? Comic Con's opening up and I gotta get there. Let me just swaddle the baby real quick and let me get over there. That's how young some of these babies were on that floor. Okay. So if that was a lot. I was stressing out watching the baby. I was living vicariously, stressing for the baby through the baby. So yeah, just be prepared. Okay. It's a lot, but it's so beautiful. And I can't wait to go back. And I would like to make it an annual thing. I just need to watch my wallet. Okay. Matter of fact, if this was the doggone early 2000s, if this was anything before you can pay with your phone, I would have just threw my wallet out. Only kept my ID. Would have showed up to Comic Con with cash. Okay, but Doggone it, man. I don't even think I pulled my wallet out once at Comic-Con. It was just tap, tap, click, boom. My phone paid for it. There was one, I went to one booth. It was a Spirit jersey booth because I really love Spirit jersey. When I tell you Spirit jerseys are probably the dopest apparel thing that I think you can probably get. Okay, like if you love that oversized type of look for a shirt, but you love the fit of it, it's weird to explain, but it's high end, high quality materialed shirt that fits like a baggy shirt, but it's snug like a snuggie. It's so beautiful. I went there, and at that point, I had already spent too much money, and I was like, hey, I don't want to get this Spirit jersey, so I'm gonna hope y'all don't have it. And they were like, what? I was like, do y'all have this in an extra large? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, dang, okay, I don't want it, but grab it. And they were like, what? So they grabbed it, and then they were like, okay, how are you gonna pay? I said, I'm gonna pay with card, and I hope it declines. And and they were like, what? I said, I don't need to be spending no more money. And then the card went through, and I went, dang. And then I went and bought another one. So it's be prepared. Okay. If you want to go, hit me up. Let's go together. Let's hold hands and figure out how we're going to navigate Comic Con together. Because I'm going back. I would love to make it annual. What a great time it was. Either way, that's it for this episode. This is a longer episode. How long was this? Oh, no. We good. This is about a regular 20 something minute episode. That's dope. I just bought this small rig so you can see what you look like now. Oh, I look sexy. What? So I bought this just so I could see, because it's hard when you filming by yourself to know, like if you good, are you in place, whatnot. I got a whole new mic audio setup. This, this is I'm using a whole Rode mic setup now. If you remember before, I had my. Wow, I was talking while I'm all touching the stuff. If you remember before, I was using. I say if you remember. Y'all don't remember. Either way, before I was using the actual microphone that I plugged into my phone. It was cords everywhere. It was difficult. But now we know we're upgrading. So, trying to really make sure we get this podcast in full effect. Okay. My days have been, I don't know the last time I posted a podcast episode. It's been very, very, very all over the place. I got my baby. He's 10 months now. We're feeling good. I have a strategy on how I'm going to film these episodes, and it's going to be in the middle of the night. It is midnight right now. It is midnight o'clock right now. But you know what? If this is what I got to do, this is what we got to do, because we out here grinding. Grinding. It's a song. I don't think I depicted it right with the beatboxing, but if you just type in grinding, no G. If you put the G in there, take it out. Okay? So it's grinding is a song. I think it came out early 2000s. Just look it up, because I'm not going to do it right. But yeah, man, Comic-Con was great. Oh, that reminds me what I need to do next. And I'm already signed up. This right here is a D23 gold member hat. I am prepared, because the next place I want to go to D23. Okay? I went once. This was a few years ago, 2022. And this was when Under Wraps 2, the movie I did on Disney Plus, it was when that movie came out, and the cast got to go to D23 because they were a part of a panel. The kids, the main kids of the movie and the lead mummy, they got to go and, be a part of a panel. And I got invited with my man Phil. He plays the mummy. He plays Harold the mummy. Phil invited me to be his plus one, so I got to go to D23, but I never got to walk the floor. I went to D23 and I was behind the scenes, seeing everything. It was super dope, bro. I met Lawrence Fishburne back there. Like, D23 is really dope. So I'm gonna go this year. Well, sorry, not this year. This year they were in Florida. I'm trying to go next year. Oh snap! I met Kevin Feige at D23 in 2022. I met Kevin Feige. So that was dope. I shook his hand, and don't quote me on this, but he was like, "Hey Jordan, my gosh, I've seen your work. I love your work. I can't wait to bring you on in Marvel. We got some dope stuff. We would love to work with you on." Right? He said those words, you know? And since then, it's just been waiting, for the part to come in, cuz I know it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. I'm going to be on Marvel one day, because Feige told me. Again, I remember I saw him and he's like, "Hey man, Jordan, you looking good. You been working out?" And I was like, "I do push-ups." And he's like, "Yeah, man, we can't wait. We've been seeing your stuff. And man, you a great actor. You inspire me." Kevin said this to me. You know, 5G is what I call him. It's not a good nickname. But like, man, me and Kevin, we like this, bro. So I'm gonna be up in there. You know what I mean? When? Only Jesus knows. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna be there at some point. It's just, I gotta keep doing what I. But yeah, I know I met Kevin Feige, so that was really dope. So uh yeah, so I want to go back to D23, but actually walk the floors, get the badge to be. I'm trying to do the professional badge too, so I can just, if there's anything extra, I want to be able to do all that stuff. So, and for D23, because my wife didn't go with me to Comic Con because she is a nerdy person, but Comic Con is like D23. That whole floor is about to be Disney. Okay? Whatever Disney has put his hands on, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, that's what you're going to see at D23. Okay? Comic Con is anything and everything. If it's a nerdy thing, if it's a craze, if it's a collectible, it's at D23. Okay? I went to one table, they had doggone trading cards for Jurassic Park and Aliens. I'm sure somewhere at Comic Con, there was some dude had a set of napkins, but it wasn't just any napkins. It was a special edition McDonald's napkin set from 1998, and you like, oh, people are buying this. Everybody's buying everything, because if it's a collectible, if it's cool, if it's nerdy, it's there at Comic Con, and that's too much for her. So she didn't want to go. That would have been a whole just stress. Would have been out the wazoo. Okay, said it again. So yeah, so D23. I'm trying to get her to go with me to D23. She's gonna go. I'm gonna force her to go. I'm gonna pick her up. All right, and then I'm gonna put her in the car and be like, "Hey babe, guess where we're going? And she's like, "Where?" And I'm gonna be like, "We're going to dinner." And she'd be like, "Oh, where's the dinner at?" "The Anaheim Convention Center." "No!" And then I'm gonna drive off. The reason I'm whispering this part is because she's in the other room, and if I talk too loud, she'll be able to hear me because she hasn't fully decided if she wants to go to D23. But she's a Disney fan, so I think she's gonna want to go. So I mean, we got Disney tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Welcome back to the Grown and Nerdy Podcast, baby. We back, and we back in full effect. Okay, we're doing one episode a week. We're gonna keep it around 30 minutes, really, because it's just me. It's just me, myself. It's just me, myself, and I. Boom, 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 boom. It's just me, myself, and I. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Okay, you get the point. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this podcast. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. What else do the professionals tell you to do? The ones that podcast on a regular. Just do those things. Do those things, but do it for me. Okay? If you don't like the podcast, lie. Give it 5 stars. You know what I mean? If you don't want to subscribe anyways. Who cares? Let's just push the button. You know what I mean? Ooh, do you kind of like it? Hit the like button. Why not? The like button's there. You like the color green, right? Color green is dope. Elphaba, the Grinch, okay? Barney's stomach. That's all green. Hit the like button. Let that green thumb pop up. So yeah, but either way, man, I will catch you next time. Also, I love you. That was way too much. Let me just stop. I hope you have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening to this, and I will catch you next time. Peace.